So I am Andrea Duhon, and I'm a Fuse leader here at River Ridge. One day we were at church, and it was the Say Yes message, and I had been kind of tugging in my heart about getting involved, but a little bit scared because I was new to the area. And that particular day, I was just really, excited about it, and I just said, just do it. And so I decided to sign up, and they had one for high schoolers, which I was really interested in, and then they had one for like the arts or like creative team. And so I wasn't really sure which way to go, but I signed up for both, and then God just led me to Fuse. So my first day at Fuse, I was petrified, but there was a young lady named Cameron who was very welcoming. She had a big smile, and she just was very willing to have a conversation. I don't think I felt equipped to be there at that time. I didn't know like all the scripture, or wasn't like ready enough. And so she made me feel like it was okay to be me and offered to play a game. I don't even remember the game, but she was very welcoming and kind of brought me into the conversation. And then from there, it felt a little bit more natural. Like I have to try to be a leader. I could just be myself and it would eventually be there. Some of the next steps I took as I grew in my role were to be a small group leader. That was about my first year. And then I had an opportunity to be a large group leader and actually give some of the talks. And even though I was very scared, I felt like God was giving me an opportunity to really grow in my own faith, as I was learning just as much as the students were. So I wanted to get involved with students. I've always had a passion for young people. I feel that I taught high school for 10 years and I'm currently a college professor. In that particular stage, I feel like a lot of growing happens. But one of the main reasons is I feel like we can meet them exactly where they are and really allow them to see like Jesus through our own lives, right? When I was growing up, I had a teacher who actually introduced me to a group called Radical. And it was a Stepping for Jesus group. And so it had really nothing to do with quote unquote the church, but it was a way for us to be able to learn about God in a very like non-traditional way where we were just loving the arts. And so I was really attracted to that, and it reminded me of that students sometimes, they're not looking for religion. And so when you can take out the structure and really just focus on relationship, they're more attracted to who God is. Some of the things I hope to gain were just more of a passion and love for God. I think I've always struggled between religion and relationship and God, and growing up that was something that I couldn't differentiate a lot. And so I wanted to be able to dig deeper into that and really understand like God is looking for a relationship. I don't have to be ready. I can just be where I am, who I am, and God is going to meet me there. And so as I was leading people and talking to students and saw that some of my experiences were relatable to them, I saw God grow in me and give me more opportunities to dig deeper into the Word, to learn, to look at relationships, and to be willing to be authentic and fail and know that God still loves me and that I'm able to continue in my journey and continue to grow. Being on the Fuse team made me feel that I was more a part of River Ridge. At the beginning, I used to come and kind of just go through the motion. I loved the sermons and I loved being inside and worshiping, but I didn't feel like I was a part of the church. Like I felt like I would walk in and walk out and like really didn't have any eye contact with anyone, if at all. And so as I became a leader at Fuse, I started having those relationships that went beyond just the time I was at Fuse. And so I would see the people at church and they were very welcoming. So being able to walk in, say hi, catch up, have conversations with both our students and the leaders. And so that really made me feel like it was more than just me being there for an hour or two on a Sunday with kids, more than an obligation. And then over time, those relationships came outside of the church, right? So maybe having dinner, meeting up at the park, going to work out with some of the girls that I had met throughout the years, regardless of whether they were infused or not. So I think now, I feel like River Ridge is my home, and I try to get involved in several different things with my kids or, devotions or anything like that. But before Fuse, I didn't feel like that. I felt like I didn't know how to approach people really, and that I was just kind of attending church versus being a part of the church. So if you're considering serving but you're scared, I would say just do it. Just God will find your gift and you will find it, and after it. So just go for it. It's intimidating at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, especially if you're new to the area, like it can be very intimidating to serve. I did not feel equipped, but I didn't have to be. God is equipping me. He's giving me everything that I need. When I first went into speaking in front of the students, I felt like I didn't know enough scripture. I didn't know enough God, quote unquote. What was I gonna tell them that they didn't already know? Especially when some of these students had been raised in the church. But I did have something that God had given me gifts that were good for them. And so I just think, take a leap of faith, and then God will put you exactly where you need to be. And if you're looking for a place, Fuse is a great home. I love being able to come on Sundays. Even my kids like coming every Sunday with me, even though they're not in high school. They enjoy being around, and it really gives you a good venue to form relationships with students and be an impact in their lives outside of just the church home. Exactly where you are and who you are is enough. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to know everything to be able to serve. You just have to be willing. And so if you're willing to serve, then God is going to place you where you need to be.